Hi, I'm Eli Prinsen from hybridvocaltechnique.com. Today's video is going to be on strategies to eliminate bad habits that create a lot of tension in our singing. Okay? These habits, we build them up over time, and most of the time the reason for this is we're trying to hold on to something or use something, some bad habit or tension for support instead of what we're supposed to use for support, okay? So I say this because I know I had all of these issues. I had all of these, and the ones I'm going to talk about today, I know from personal experience what they were and how to fix them, okay? So I had an excessive amount of jaw tension. I used to jut my chin out when I would sing E vowels, which I hated. I hated them so bad, I used to actually write my lyrics around them so I wouldn't have to sing an E. That's how bad it was, okay? I used to turn my head when I was singing and I was starting to sing higher before I started taking lessons. I used to turn my head like this to hit a high note. And if I didn't turn like that, I wouldn't be able to do it. And I could barely do it in the first place, okay? Another problem is a lot of jaw tension to where I would just, if you were trying to sing something fast, the higher you got, it was like, the higher you got, the more tense it was to form words quickly, okay? So a lot of you are like, yeah, I've got that problem too, or, oh, I understand where you're coming from, right? It's real common. Things that I started seeing in students coming from other schools of singing around the world, I started seeing some other weird habits too, like sticking the tongue out while they're singing, or using that as a way to get through the bridge, okay? And a lot of this comes from forms of bel canto that actually use this exercise, and I used to do this exercise too, okay? That being the tongue exercise where, or you go through your bridge, or do it on scales, octave and a half, 2 octave scales, all right? That can create a habit of your tongue sticking out while you're singing when you're trying to go up higher, because you're so used to using that as almost like a crutch or something to grip onto, to grab onto, to support, to get yourself through there, all right? So I've pretty much seen it all, and I've done most of it because I wasn't one of the lucky ones who actually had talent when I started training my voice. I had every issue known to man, and that's why I know how to fix them. Okay, so like I was saying, I used to sing like this. I used to come up higher, yeah, and I couldn't go much higher than like G sharp, and my head would be like this, right? Hated singing E's because I had this weird thing where I would bring the jaw up and this and everything else. All right, and jaw tension on everything. So how did my teacher help me to fix this? What he did was used the sense of touch. Okay, the sense of touch is how you're going to fix almost all of these tensions. There's so many nerves in your hands and your fingers. That's why the slightest little paper cut or a little burn, the pain is incredible. You can stand getting punched, you can cut, whatever, but when it happens on your fingertips and your hands, it's quite painful, right? So many nerves there. So, the sense of touch for the jaw, for the chin. My teacher and I played this game called The Thinker, all right? Like that famous statue where that guy's like this, right? He's thinking. So the hand is what? On the jaw. Now, I'm not going to hold it in place and push the jaw there to keep it from protruding out. I'm just going to use that sense of touch as a monitor. So when my brain makes that connection there with all those little nerves and the wrong thing starts happening, it lets me know. It sends a signal and I can start to release it. And over time, it goes away till it's gone, okay? So where I used to, I'd stick that out to do that. Doing them like I had to do all my scales on E. I always did them like this so I can monitor that tension and stop doing the jaw like that. Okay, and I used to do my neck like that and even come up on my tippy toes. It was ridiculous. It was like, come on, all right? It's not helping. For the neck turning to the right, we played a game called the clock. It was still the sense of touch, okay? But my teacher knew that I was not going to be able to get, I couldn't go any higher than G sharp, but I wouldn't even be able to hit the G or the G sharp if I didn't turn my head at the time, because I had built that habit up. And that was the way I was supporting, and which was wrong. But so to correct the habit, he would allow it at first. So he would say, the clock, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 3 o'clock being this way, if this is a big clock, he would allow me that for so long, doing the scales, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, he would only allow me this much. And then after a week or so, we would go to 2 o'clock. So then I could only turn my head this much. And then after a while, we went to 1 o'clock. I could just turn it a little bit. And then eventually right at noon, at dead noon. And the bad habit was gone. Okay. That one was really stubborn, but that's how we got rid of it. And now if I try to turn my head, I can't even sing like that. Okay. Which is really weird. Okay. So the sense of touch helps you to really helps you to identify, send signals to your brain and start releasing things. Okay. I had such bad jaw tension, even doing humming exercises, which is just supposed to be very free. It's supposed to be like, you're in a good mood. You wouldn't be walking down the street, if you were in love or met somebody and you're all happy and it's a great day. You wouldn't be like, I'm in a good mood. No, it should be free. But I did it the wrong way back then. So, same thing. Even having this here allowed me to think the sound up here even more. So then the resonance shot up to the head more, and I started to release the jaw. That, and we used to pretend like I was chewing gum to release the hinge. Okay, so there's all sorts of strange little techniques that you can use to reduce all these tensions. Okay, what we did on day 1, he told me, get a mirror. Okay, and look at that thing when you're doing your exercises and write down every tension you can think of. Make a list, okay? And then go down one by one and start eliminating these things, okay? And then think about it this way. You have a scale. All these tensions, okay? I had neck tension, jaw tension, the tension at the hinge, all this stuff coming up on my tippy toes, all these problems. So every one of all that energy I was expelling and wasting, all that tension, one by one, all of a sudden, this is on this side of the scale, which is the good side of freedom. All that energy gets to be used towards your singing. Okay. So it's awesome. And you don't look crazy anymore. Okay. Now, the last one on the list, and that would be the tongue. Okay, the tongue, I've seen people do it in different ways. Some of this, like I said, becomes a habit, like a compensatory muscle, just like the other ones. You're using things to support instead of your support system, something that's trying to help you, but it's really not helping you. I've seen students be singing, and they would be like, and stick their tongue all the way out, or and do the lizard tongue thing. Sometimes that is a habit from doing certain bel canto exercises, those kind of exercises where the tongue is a ball, and it's a fabulous exercise. But all you got to do if you're going to do that side of bel canto is make sure you do your retract and release exercises. And all that means is once you feel comfortable and eliminate the break and go through the passaggio, you have it down pat, you can slowly, if the tongue becomes an issue, becomes a problem, and you have lizard tongue, you go through the passaggio, then you retract and release the tongue like this. So you get used to bringing it up, drawing it in, resting it on the bottom of your mouth, okay? Then you start reducing the amount of time that you have it out, slowly, if it's a problem for you, until eventually you don't even need it anymore, okay? And you can do it from the natural tongue on the bottom of the mouth position and get the exact same function going on in your larynx. Okay, so whatever the issue is, there's a way to eliminate those tensions. There's a way. It didn't ever seem like it was going to happen for me, but I was lucky and had a good teacher, good techniques, and now I'm sharing them with you. There's plenty more of this. If you need help with your voice, if you're looking for a vocal coach, come see me at hybridvocaltechnique.com. I would love to be your coach, love to help you with your voice. Doesn't matter what skill level you're at, from beginner to advanced to pro. I teach them all, and I'd love to help you. Okay? So have a great day, and I hope that this stuff helped.